everyone. Welcome to the SpinJoy HooperCast. You're back again with Caitlyn
and Phoebe, which is me.
And we wanted to do a big shout out before we get started to the band Monarchy, who have let us so kindly use their amazing song Hula Hoop 8000 as our intro and outro track.
I love it. I like to hear it when I edit it. And then I get to the end, I'm like, oh, I'm done. And it's groovy.
It's the best song ever. Now, we also wanted to have a shout out to people that have been sending us information and hot hoop tracks and stuff that they'd like us to talk about. So let's just jump into an email that we got from Krystal.
Yeah, I'm gonna read it because I think it links us really nicely into a topic that we had been considering. So this was high time. So Krystal says, I'm finding I'm not giving enough trick learning time. Instead, I'm just dancing and flowing around. So sometimes I feel as if I'm not improving as much as I would like to due to this. Do you guys, brackets, or did you guys at the beginning, close brackets, give set goals or times for trick learning or combine it all in the one hoop sesh?
This is a really good topic.
This is a super valid topic because there isn't really like the Bible on how you're supposed to train. And especially when it's something that's dance, which is free form, how do you train that? Do you train that or do you just know that you spend time in it and it's going to happen?
I think that people either have one of the two issues with this. So they're either always flowing and not giving enough time for drilling, like Krystal is struggling with here, or you go the other side where you're only learning new tricks constantly and not being able to tap back into the flowy dance, relaxed side of it, and finding a middle space can be tricky.
Yeah, I definitely feel like I'm the exact opposite of you, Caitlyn, because I have a massive list of stuff that I want to learn and I get distracted by that. Like I don't spend enough time making my dance and my flow look organic because I get this trick stuck in my head, and because I'm super logical and rather obsessive, I will just go ham on about 3 or 4 that are in my current list and I won't really add them to things. Like I won't know how to transition out of those tricks into other things because I'm just drilling them to get them right, which has its own merit, but I'd like to put more focus on flow for myself.
So you're saying that you're constantly learning new tricks, but you're not incorporating them into your flow. Is that right?
I think I end up incorporating them out of necessity if I'm at gigs or whatever, but I don't work on putting them into flow when I'm practicing.
That's interesting. Yeah, I do have the exact opposite issue where I had my steep learning curve of tricks at the beginning and now I don't.
You went so hard at the beginning. You just absorbed as much as you possibly could and you just excelled so quickly.
And then I got comfortable with dancing and I never challenged myself again.
And now you love dancing.
And now if I basically only learn one trick maybe every 6 months that I incorporate into my routine now.
But I guess the question about that is, are you happy with that? Because if you are,
I am.
Yeah, she's nodding. So I think how we practice is also influenced by the pressure that you put on yourself and what your goals are and what you feel comfortable with. So if you know you're not comfortable not learning X amount of stuff, you can work on that, or you can reassess your expectation as well.
Yeah, I think we talked about this in one of the last episodes where people are coming to hoop dance for different things. If you're wanting to learn, you focus on that. If you are comfortable just enjoying the dancing and enjoying your current skill level and that experience, then you stay with that. But there are definitely some things that you can do to overcome the hooper's block. Is that what you'd call it?
Yeah, I've heard it called plateau, hooper's block, the rut, hooper's rut. I like to say, and I think this is going to be a point of contention, I don't think it fully exists. And I think we've given too much power to it by labeling it. I think you're basically only limited by as much of your imagination as possible and how intensely you're searching for other influence. If you are drilling and not flowing, there are things that you can do. You can search for visualization techniques to increase your flow or to bring a different quality of movement to your flow. If you constantly flow and you want to learn more tricks, like Krystal says, there's nothing stopping you from making a list. There's nothing stopping you from doing research.
And Krystal specifically, I think, pointed out that she gets frustrated sometimes when she's trying to learn the tricks and they're not happening. So
me too, babe.
My suggestions for overcoming that frustration, maybe breaking through those issues, recording yourself So if you are following a tutorial, first of all, check out a tutorial to like one on YouTube, or ask somebody that you've seen on Instagram, or reach out to the hooper that you've seen do the trick that you want. So you've got clear instruction on how to do it. If you're still not getting it from watching it, record back your own practice to see if you can start to pinpoint where it's going wrong. Because sometimes you just can't see that stuff, feel it in your body when you're in it. And I would also suggest then getting another person to, if you can't have access to a teacher or another hooper to teach you the trick in person.
Back and forward and instant feedback.
Yeah, like get somebody else to review and help you troubleshoot. Most people on Instagram, I know, will be more than happy to do some skill sharing.
Yeah. Yeah, just make contact with someone. For me, part of what I think is good about people who hula hoop continuously and who treat it as a pursuit, maybe they don't intend on doing anything with it except for it being their own personal goal to progress. It's good for how you address frustration. It's one of the things that can help you combat stress and frustration in daily life. So there are moves that are just going to take way longer than others to learn. Things like coiling, a lot of circus stuff takes ages of really, really refined drilling to get. But because we have all this video coming at us of people who are doing the trick and performing the trick instantly and perfectly, we don't see the amount of hours that went into them learning it. They may have taken longer than anyone else to get it right, but they spent the time doing it and now it's sparkly and perfect.
Absolutely. I totally know what you're talking about. And this is something that I was discussing with someone. There are tricks. This is really interesting to point out. There are tricks that are what we refer to as Instagram tricks. Okay. That means.
What are those?
This means that these tricks pretty much you nail, and even people that are exceptionally good at them will nail them maybe one in, say, 100 times. But
you make sure you post that video.
You post that video. I'm not even joking. And
I would.
Yeah, but we don't see the amount of times that video has been edited, or the failed attempts. So
that's why I love when people post the failed attempts.
Yes.
Because I think that helps us all combat our internalized frustration and inadequacy issues that
feelings of inadequacy
all of us have. Every single one of us has them about hooping.
Yeah.
Knowing that you have them, knowing that you're going to have them is part of the battle against it. Knowing that some tricks take a lot of time. How I approach the tricks that I'm just not getting is if you're not changing what you're doing when you attempt it, you're not going to get a different result. And if you can't feel yourself changing what you're doing, change it enough that it looks wrong. So put too much effort into it, change it too much, come back off it. You might see something different that's happened next time.
That's hilarious. I had an interesting experience when I first started learning hula hooping, that I was basically reprogramming my brain to enjoy the process of learning, and that as adults, we don't often have that opportunity to be beginners very often. So we have that instant reaction of wanting to be good at something straight away. And then I realized that I needed to have patience and discipline to get a trick. But I also realized that if I could see somebody else do it, if I could see another hooper or I'd seen it done before, if I gave my body and gave myself the space to learn the trick and the time, that I could teach myself how to do anything. And I think that's why I'm kind of relaxed about in my approach, because I know if I really want to learn a trick, I'll go and give myself however long it takes. I'll break it down. I'll go through it and I can teach myself. So I did all the stuff that made me feel good. And then I know now if there's something that I really want to learn, I'll go and I'll do it.
That's awesome.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, fully. Basically, like the frustration issue, I think a lot of it's reprogramming your brain not to be pissed off at yourself. Give yourself a break.
Exactly.
Stuff's going to take time. You are dedicated enough to talk about it, which is awesome. Thinking about your thinking.
I find that it comes in waves. So if we're talking about actually setting ourselves up to grow, I'll set myself training periods. So I prefer to practice in the mornings instead of just flowing and going out into the sun and having a dance. I'll go, okay, I'm going to set myself 30 minutes to hula hoop, and then I have blocks of time. So I work on hooping in reverse for the first 10 minutes on my waist.
Super important.
And if I'm quite comfortable with hooping in reverse now on my waist, so I'm also challenging myself in that block to hoop on my shoulders and my chest in reverse, on my legs in reverse. So That's the first one, the stuff that I don't like to do. Get that out of the way first. Then I will break down the next 10-minute block into hooping on the different areas of my body. So that's something that I want to really refine. I'll hold the hoop on my legs for a minute. I'll hold the hoop on my hips for a minute. Waist, hands, do it in broken down stages of training. So that's the second 10 minutes. And then for the last 10 minutes of the 30-minute specified training block, I will have something, I might just freestyle dance, or I might have a specific trick that I'm going to drill this for 10 minutes. And often that set block of time then encourages me to go, I didn't quite get it straight away, so I'm going to continue. Or I've done enough training for one day, now I can enjoy my free flow practice. It just, once I've got that out of the way, it's done.
Yeah. I think the main message I'm getting from that is that you structure your practice and you set blocks of time.
When I feel like it. Sometimes
when I feel like it.
This is the thing though, so I'm not in that kind of brain space where I'm that motivated by learning new tricks, but when I do feel like it, I'll go and make it a set structured thing. Yes. And then maybe for a couple of months, I'll only go out and dance recreationally, like for fun, just flow.
I think if you have it in your head that you're going to go and pick up your hoops and you know that you're more likely to flow with them, just have it in your head that you might be able to set some time aside either at the beginning or at the end. It might even be like 2 minutes if you know you just never drill tricks. Just have it in your head for the absolute first thing to do. Think about maybe putting it into your practice. You don't have to do it, but you're more likely to if you're thinking about doing it.
Totally. And another thing that is really helpful is if you've only seen a video or like a tutorial and it's not working for you, you're still not getting the trick, go and look at the same trick explained by multiple people, because some person might be explaining the exact same trick in a slightly different way and all of a sudden it'll click. Or they'll be showing you visually different body, different hoop size, and all of a sudden that will make sense for you.
I also, from a teaching perspective, I think this is so important. If something's happening for you over and over again that's wrong, that's blocking the trick from working, like, oh, my elbow keeps getting in the way, do tell your teacher, because if they know that that's a problem you're having, someone else might be having that problem. So you can kind of help everyone. They might figure out a particular phrase or description that will break that down for you, and then they can go and tell another bunch of nice people.
Absolutely.
Yay.
Cool.
I also think that having an ongoing list of stuff that you want to learn is important, because so often I'll see something really cool and I'll be like, whoa, yeah, totally gotta learn that. And I will not write it down and I will forget about it immediately. And it's really hard to go back and find it because the amount of stuff online, I heard someone describe it as like drinking from a fire hose in terms of the amount of hoop videos that are just constantly being posted all the time.
I like to screenshot things that I see that are cool, or do the save to a playlist on YouTube, or the save archive button on Instagram for videos that I think are really cool that I'll come back to later.
Yeah, you can categorize those as well. Like you can make a whole bunch of categories in your Instagram archive. The question is, am I ever going to look at them again? And sometimes I don't. And I think there's about 300 in there that I just haven't looked at, but I saved them.
Good luck with that.
I'm trying. Yeah. So yeah, we say all these things like, yeah, save the videos. Yeah, put aside time. Yeah, make a structure. Do we get to it all the time ourselves? No.
But it's there if we ever do.
It's an option.
We want to one day.
You know it's an option.
Okay,
so on the subject of having nice flow dance practice, you need nice tracks to do that. I would possibly even refer to them as hot hoop tracks. Do you like my segue?
That was so good.
Thanks.
My hot hoop track for the episode is Bad at Love by Halsey.
Nice.
It's really awesome.
What do you like about it?
I like the vocals. I think that it's just a good jam. You describe the hot hoop tracks way better than I do. I just like the songs, Phoebe.
I was editing them and I noticed that I have the exact same pattern of inflection every time I do it. I'm like, whoa, she really got into a habit there. So I'm not going to do that this time.
It was good.
My hot hoop track is Swangin' Waist featuring Snappy Jit.
Swangin',
and it's got an apostrophe instead of the G for the swangin'. And it is by D Dots from the album Freshers. And it goes ham. I advise you to listen to it and just kind of have a just extreme dance party by yourself.
just by yourself? What can you have a dance party with others? If
You could.
You're not encouraging it.
No.
This is an alone time jam, guys.
I need a lot of
Request
alone
of
time, so
Phoebe?
that's not my first go-to is dancing with other people.
Let us know how that private party goes for all of you.
by
and
myself.
we had a suggestion for a hot hoop track from Tyra.
Yeah, I'm
What
going to
is
bring it up. Let me bring it up. I put it in the
Called
computer.
Same by Winston Surfshirt.
Same by Winston Surfshirt. Give it a listen. I loved that someone wrote in about it.
It's also a great song.
Yeah.
It was really groovy.
It is groovy. Yeah, give it a listen. Is that us? Is it time to let's leave?
It is.
Let's leave.
Just